Public hearing for taxi cab application.
Yes, this is my first on this, and y'all just be patient with me. Our ordinance reads that if they want to start a taxi cab, that they come and fill out an application, and then we do or the city recorder does the investigation, does the paperwork, and then makes a recommendation to the board to approve or not approve. So I have Mr. Daniel Clay Baker that has applied, and he's
Suspected you might be him.
Yeah, yes, there is.
and we've followed all the procedures. There's only the ordinance reads that you have to be here for 2 years, and he's not been here that long, but he's met all the other criteria, insurance and everything. So I'm recommending we go ahead and approve it. Because that ordinance is quite old. The further back I went with it, the original one is. So that would be up to you all to approve it, but the outside of being able to approve the 2 years and the 2 letters, which he's not been here long enough to get, but the background check and everything else has been done.
Have you done this before?
I have experience as a rideshare driver for Uber and Lyft in the city of Las Vegas and other parts of the country. I've provided over 8,000 rides to different persons over the course of that career. I've been in Rogersville, just outside of the town limits, over near the Clayton homes on the highway, for a year now. I've provided some ride share out in the Tri-Cities area near the airport, but I've decided I want to serve this community as a taxi cab. Ride share, Uber and Lyft are just not available here in Rogersville. There's not enough demand. But there's a lot of excitement through my Facebook page, which I've created. There's a lot of people that I think that want it. I think there's a need here, especially among the elderly and the disabled, to have some freedom of transportation. As far as to my character, I'm retired of California Highway Patrol officer after a 27-year career. And I feel there's a need in this community, and I'd like to fill it.
Anybody have any other questions?
I remember Alan Cab.
Let's don't go that route. Any other questions? Okay, do we hear a motion that we honor his application?
I'll make a motion. I think it's something the community, like you said, especially if they're elderly and getting to the doctor, and from Rogersville to Kingsport or wherever to doctor's offices, or take them to get them what they need. I think it's probably long overdue.
I'll second.
Been moved and second. Any other discussion? Attorney, do we anything problem that him not being here 2 years?
We looked at this from the very beginning, and the ordinance is from mid-'80s. It's possible the requirement that he have lived here for that long, and the fact that he have references from 2 people that knew him from here, specifically from here, would be unenforceable in my opinion. So we created the application, caused him to apply, did make sure he has gone through the background checks, safety inspection and all that. So if that's the only hang up, I would not rely on that, in my opinion, as a reason to deny it. So.
All right. Anybody else have anything? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those disapproved, no. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
What time you gonna pick me up tomorrow?
There is one issue to address, and that's the rates for taxi cabs allowed by ordinance are dated back to 1989, and I'm going to be proposing as soon as I can an amendment to those to bring them up to current rates.
All righty. All right, anybody else? I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Oh, I was going to
Oh, I'm sorry.
if I could I just engage you in a general conversation for a few minutes before we adjourn?
Sure, go right ahead.
Fantastic. So thank you, first of all, for approval of the taxi permit. The next step for me is to review the rates that we charge. And so I just want to ask a couple questions to see if we can get to a change as quickly as possible. Currently, the city only allows a rate of $2 for boarding the taxi and 65 cents per mile, which is way behind today's current rates. My intent was to charge $10 or $20 for the initiation of the trip and allow up to 8 miles in that, and then $2.50 per mile or 25 cents per quarter, or 1/10 of a mile beyond that. In Greenville nearby, the taxi there is charging $3 per mile, so that's close to what we're looking at. Anyway, the ordinance I want to look at is 9-417, which specifies those rates. Now, my understanding is if I propose a change, you have to do a couple or a few readings before those would take effect. So I've been permitted to operate as a taxi now, or as soon as I can get over to the recorder's office and get it completed. But I'd be handcuffed by the amounts that I can charge, and it would almost be operating at a loss. So I have a question as far as what we can do about one of those ordinances in the meantime. If we propose changes and it goes through those readings and it gets changed, and that's the ultimate goal. But I got a question, maybe it's a short circuit. Do we have to have 2 or the 3 readings to strike or remove an ordinance?
Yes. Still
Yes.
an amendment of-
Okay, so it's either way we try to go for this, so we just need to do an amendment. Okay, so how would I propose that to the board here? I just do it here verbally, or do I need to just do something in writing, or meet with the city attorney and we can hash it out and then bring it there forth? What's my best course of action?
I'd say it was the latter. I'd
Meet
say
with this-
you get with him
Okay.
and come up with something that you feel like would be fair,
Okay,
and then, wouldn't you agree, Ken?
Yeah,
Or get with Glenn and tell what he wants to do, then you
well, we
get it.
can, yeah, we can draft a proposed amendment, and up to one of y'all to propose it, and I guess discuss it, so. There may be some better ways to go about it than have to change the rates every few years anyway, I don't know. I can look at some other taxi cab ordinances if you all wanna do that, and see if there's a way to have that. I know that's in there, but, you know, again, that's been on the books for almost 40 years now, so it's obviously gonna change with the economy. Yeah, I'll talk to you.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Yeah,
for your
yes,
time.
sir.
Thank you, everyone. I
Thank you.
appreciate tonight's outcome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And I look forward to serving the community.
Thank you.